welcome to this practice today. So today I'm going to begin a series on healing back pain. So this will be a great and inclusive practice for everyone to do, as well as those of you who might have some back pain. I hope that this will help alleviate some of that pain. So whenever we're working with an injury, I want to invite you to get creative, get curious, what works, what doesn't work. Listening to your body, this is one of the greatest gifts that a yoga practice can give you, is that you learn to listen to your body and honor your body. Each and every one of you, there's like 4 screens I'm zipping through right now, all of these amazing humans in the space, and each and every one of us is different. So we honor that. Right? Honor where you are, honor what works in your body. And if you don't know what works, feel free to try it out, get creative. If you're in our training, you can reach out to me. We can talk on Slack or in the network. And you can also pop questions into the chat and I will try to monitor the chat. Mostly though, I am on my yoga mat leading the practice. So it's a little bit different than if we were in a room together, where I could walk over and we could have a conversation, but we can kind of do that here in the digital space. So without further ado, I'd love to get started. We are going to start today laying down. Maybe that's like super exciting for you. Like, yes, I've just been told to take a nap. So lay down on your back. You can have your strap in grabbing distance. Okay, so whatever you are using for a strap, it's exciting to have people here from all over. We've got Washington State, we got some West Coast, we got East Coast. All right, so great to have you all. So join me laying down on your mat. Have your strap in grabbing distance. And for our grounding today, just lay back. You can have your legs long or start in constructive rest with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. You choose what's going to be the most beneficial way to begin your practice today. And we'll settle in together. Start to deepen your breath. Things to play with if you lay down and you feel any tightness in your back, you can lay this way with the knees bent, feet on the floor. This is constructive rest. You could send the feet wide and drop the knees in towards each other. Or you can lay with the legs long. So closing your eyes, if that feels appropriate to you, if you want to have your eyes open, just soften your gaze. And allow your breath to move through your body. Just feeling inward, feel how you are right now in this moment. Slowing down your breathing. Filling your breath into the area around your lower back. And let's define the lower back for our purposes in our practice today as the top of your sacrum. That's the lowest part of your spine. Up to the back bottommost ribs, your floating ribs. This in the anatomy of your spine is called the lumbar spine. So just feeling into this area of your lower back. You might balloon your breath into this area, ballooning your back body into the mat. Let's take 3 more conscious breaths into the lower back. You might feel that your lower back is lifted up away from the floor. I just invite you to feel your breath filling in the space between your back and the mat. And if your back is pressing into the mat because your knees are bent and feet on the floor, feel that. And we'll begin with the knees bent and the soles of feet on the floor. So you can open your eyes and grab a hold of your strap or whatever you have. And I invite you to put the strap around the ball of your foot on the right foot. You can have your left knee bent, sole of left foot on the floor. Your right leg, you can keep it very bent and you can start to straighten it. Let's just take a few breaths here, holding onto the strap around the ball of the foot. And have your shoulders and shoulder blades relaxed on the mat. So if you feel like having a blanket underneath your head would be really great, grab that and put it underneath your head. And just breathing here, I just want to invite a little bit of movement, sort of bend and start to straighten that right leg that's in the air. You're holding onto the strap. You don't have to grab anywhere along the strap. Let your arms be really relaxed. So it's not about how close to the foot can you get it. And if you don't have a strap, hold somewhere on the leg. You don't have to use a strap today. It's just nice to have. The strap is an extension of your arms. So you're just bending and straightening. And then take another moment here like this and move towards as straight a right leg as you can. And then push up, flexing the foot, push up through your heel, any amount. Take a breath here. Exhale everything out. Great. Take your strap into your left hand and your right thumb on the outside of your right hip and press that hip away, pressing the thigh bone away, but especially rotating your outer right hip away from your shoulder towards the bottom edge of your mat. And you can have your left leg straight if that works for you, or keep the knee bent. And we're not going to go very far, but we're going to take the right leg across the body. Keep your lower back down onto the mat. Your hip may come up, but you're not going very far. So I'm not going to continue and hear my lower back lifted up. I'm going to stay. I just take it, it's maybe a foot, maybe 6 inches across. Just feel that. Take a breath and keep pressing the outer right hip away. So you create a little space in the outside of your right side of lower back and outer hip. Now bring the leg back. Put the strap into your right hand. And remember, if you don't have a strap holding the leg, you can take the leg out about a foot or 6 inches to 12 inches or so to the right. Keep your lower back on the mat. The moment that your left hip comes up, that's where you stop. And just feel this range of motion. So you've got, this is moving the leg in towards the body and then away from the body. And then come back to center, bring that leg down, and let's go to the other side. So holding on to the strap on the ball of the foot so that you can flex that foot as needed. And we're just going to start with a little bit of movement here. Little bit of movement. Feeling the lower back is supported and you're maybe bending and straightening that leg, but you don't have to ever go to full straight. You're just feeling how this feels. Deepening your breath, getting acquainted with your body today. Your right leg could be straight or the knee could be bent. And then hold the strap in your right hand, hold the leg in your right hand. Take your left thumb, put your left thumb in the outer crease of your hip and press that outer left hip forward away from your shoulder towards the bottom edge of your mat. And then take the leg across. Remember, as soon as your hip and your lower back lifts up, that's where you stop. This is not a big range of motion. We're just feeling into, now from your sit bone, push through your heel. So you engage the whole back of that leg. How's your breath? Take a deep breath in and out. And come on back to center. Put the strap or the leg in your left hand and take the leg out. And your right leg, keep that knee pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring the leg back through center and just do that a couple times. Take it in towards your body. It actually goes across the body and then take it out. Not a big range of motion. We're just exploring. All right. So in this position, your lower back is supported by the floor. That's a great position. If you ever have actual injury or lower back pain, this is a great place to be if you can come all the way down onto the floor. All right, so let's release that. Have a yoga block or a pillow handy. Keep it right next to you. We're going to do some abdominal work. All right. Knees bent, soles of feet on the floor. Clasp your hands behind your head and let your head rest on the mat. Elbows are wide. Inhale, feel that you can tilt your pelvis. So keep your lower back on the mat. I'm lifting my tailbone up, but I'm not lifting my hips up off the mat. So it's a small tilt. I'm tilting tailbone up. Now I'm going to tilt my tailbone down towards the floor. This is what? It's like cat-cow, but you're laying on your back. So if we were in cat-cow on all fours, we'd be here, the hands here, and we'd be moving the whole spine. But just move your hips. So feeling the upward tilt of your tailbone and then the downward tilt of your tailbone. Get a little mobility in there. Just feel what that feels like. Now, come back to a neutral spine where your tail is just lengthening towards the bottom edge of your mat. Inhale here and balloon your lower back into the mat. Keep the hips down on the mat and curl your tailbone up. Then exhale, curl your head and shoulder blades up as high as you can without pulling on your neck. Use your core, pull the belly down. Inhale, lower back down, use this full inhalation, press the lower back into the mat. Curl that tailbone up. Exhale, curl your head and shoulder blades up. Do you feel that little shaky, quaky thing? You're getting into your core, deepest part of your core. That's great. Inhale, lower down. Feel the breath in your lower back. Curl your tailbone up. Now exhale, curl the head and shoulder blades up and pull the belly down. If this is enough, you stay there. If you're ready to move on, I invite you to lift your feet up off of the floor. Inhale, your head and shoulder blades up. Feel your lower back pressing into the mat. Curl your tailbone up so you'll send your knees straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist towards your right thigh and straighten your left leg up towards the ceiling. Both shoulder blades are up off of the mat. You're not laying all the way over. This would be far too easy, my friends. Go less far, keep the shoulder blades up, and you're just twisting slightly to the right. Left leg is reaching up. You feel that? Inhale, come back to center. Feel your lower back pressing into the mat. Curl your tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten your right leg, and pull the lower belly down. Remember, you can be doing this without moving the legs around. You're just going to move your upper body. Inhale, come back to center. Breathe into lower back. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, from this position, you could lift your right knee up, or you could twist to the right and straighten your left leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Breathe lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten your right leg, and pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Breathe into lower back. Curl your tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, straighten your left leg up towards the sky. If you're moving the legs, great. If you're not, you're getting plenty out of this, connecting into your core. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten the right leg. Inhale, come back to center. Everybody hug your knees into your chest. Take a moment, just rock a little bit side to side. Feel into your lower back. Deepen your breath. And now extend your knees, both knees to the right, and we'll take a twist. You can take your arms out in a T, or you could put your right hand on the outside of your left leg and take a look to the left and take a breath into your lower back. Releasing, coming back to center. Take the legs to the left, your gaze to the right. Left hand can be on the right knee or arms out. Take a breath into the twist, feeling this delicious twist, releasing your lower back. All right, coming back to center. Grab your block or a pillow. It's got to be a small, squishy pillow. What you want to do is squeeze it so that when you squeeze that block or whatever you've got, object between your legs, that your legs go hip distance apart. They're not really wide. You just want something to squeeze so you turn on your adductor muscles. That's the inner thigh muscles. They're really important for lower back health. All right, you have options. Feet down, feet up. You could rest your feet on a coffee table if you need some support, or legs straight. I'm going to take the middle ground just as a demo, but remember, you could be down, up, legs straight. Clasp your hands behind your head. Oh my gosh, here we go. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up off of the mat. Exhale, squeeze the block or whatever you got and send your knees up towards the ceiling or send your legs up and twist to your left. And then come back to center, keep squeezing, inhale into your lower back, squeeze whatever you got between your legs. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, twist to the right, pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center. We're gonna go straight up the middle this time. Exhale, curl the tailbone, send the elbows straight up, pull the belly down. Inhale, breathe into your lower back. Squeeze the object between your legs. Exhale, twist to the left. Squeeze and pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze what you got. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze and curl your tailbone up. Send the elbows skyward. And release. Bring your feet down. Keep what you got as a squeeze. There, and come into a bridge. This is a baby bridge. So you're going to lift your hips up, not very high. Lift the hips up only until you really feel that you can connect and create space in your lower back. So you don't go up really high. This is about turning on the back muscles. Feel your calf muscles pushing down into your heels. Turn on the bottom of the butt and lengthen it. So here, when you're squeezing the block between your legs, you can't jam your lower back. You'll often hear yoga instructors say to keep your butt relaxed. That's because if you squeeze the butt only, you jam your lower back. But you've got a block squeezing, and that's going to help you lengthen the lower back. So don't worry about squeezing the butt, because you actually can't squeeze your butt when you're squeezing a block at the same time. Those muscles are antagonist muscles. So that's what that's about. Push down into your heels, lengthen the lower back, feel for lengthening your lower back as much as you can. Get some breath into the chest and the collarbones. Again, you don't have to lift up very high. Let's take another 3 breaths, feeling for getting space in the lower back. And if this does not feel good to you or you need to come down, you come down. Take another full inhalation. Feel how strong you are. Feel for creating space in your back. Feel all of the support underneath you. And then begin to lower down, move slowly, lengthen your spine as you come down. All right. Move the block out of the way, roll to one side, and let's make our way to all fours for a little cat-cow. So coming into some more movement, we've been doing a lot of the same movements, but now we have a little more mobility, I'm hoping. So move into your cat-cow. I'm going to come check out the chat, see how we're doing. All right, great. If you need padding for your knees, please pad your knees. And then if you have more mobility and your body wants to move a little more, maybe you're circling your hips, rolling out your shoulders. Just take the next several breaths of free form movement. come to a tabletop position. So put the shins and the tops of the feet on the mat, your knees and shins hip distance apart, your hands right underneath your shoulders. Lengthen your spine. So feel, we created a lot of awareness of the front of the body, the belly. Draw the lower belly in, create a long flat back. You've now become a table, so keep your tabletop really nice and strong and long. And inhale your left arm and your right leg up. Connect into your core, draw the front ribs in and up into your body. And exhale, bring the hand and the shin down. Go to the second side, right arm, left leg. Inhale. And exhale. Left arm, right leg, inhale. And exhale. Right arm, left leg, inhale. And exhale. You can stay with those movements. You don't even have to pick the leg up, or you can add on. Come with me and we're going to add some core work in. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, curl, elbow to the knee, round your spine, pull the belly in. Inhale, put the hand and the shin down. Go to the second side, right arm and left leg. Exhale, curl in. And bring the hand and the shin down. And try that one more time on each side. Whatever you got going on, enjoy the movement, enjoy the strengthening, the awareness of your body. Finish, and you choose. Downward facing dog might be your next position, child's pose, or puppy dog. You have options. If you have room to move in your downward facing dog, go ahead and walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. Walking out your dog. If you're in puppy dog, your knees are down, you can walk your hands to the side. Maybe you want to arc. You have another couple breaths wherever you are. And everyone come down to all fours. If you have blocks, you'll bring your blocks to the front of your mat at any height. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. Bring your right foot forward between your hands. Tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg. Now feel the length and strength of your spine. So we're almost in a tabletop position with the spine. Create that length again. Feel how your right hip is slightly forward of the left. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward. Stay here. You're reaching strongly back through your back heel. Let your hips descend towards the mat, even as your left thigh rises up. We're moving into a twist. You can keep your left hand on the block or put it on the floor and twist your right arm up towards the sky. Take a strong, long breath. Maybe your knee needs to be down. That's another option. Back knee can be down. Take a breath, feel four. Can you create length in your spine? And opening up into the twist. Exhale, hand down. Bring your knee down. Walk your hands onto your front thigh. All right, so put one hand on your pubic bone, one hand on your lower back. So the heel of your hand is on your sacrum. That's the last bony part of your spine. Fingers are pointing down. And you're just going to tilt your pelvis. So I'm going to wing my tail all the way back, and then I'm going to tuck it under. You're going to wing it back and tuck it under. And now find a midway point where your tail is just lengthening straight down. You're not tucking. You've found your plumb line and lengthen through the crown of your head and reach your arms up. Feel the engagement of your core muscles, the front of the abdomen drawing in, And feel the space in your heart as you open up. Let's take a breath here. Inhale, turn your palms, face them forward, and exhale, cactus your arms down. So you're going to sink down any amount that's available in your lunge and open up your chest. So we're going to add on a little bit of movement. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Release your hands down, step back, and bring your left foot forward between your hands. Let's start in that runner's lunge position using blocks or no blocks. If you do have challenges in your lower back, I recommend getting some yoga blocks. All right, back knee is up as your body allows. Feel how your left hip, since it's the front leg, bring that left hip back. It's slightly forward a little bit. So take another breath, find that long spine, your tabletop here in the lunge. And then exhale, let your hips descend a little bit towards the earth, even as you fire up your back leg more. And take your left arm, reach it up into your twist. Nice work, everybody. Inhale, open the chest. Use your exhale. Can you connect into your core? That deepest part of your abdominal area is so important for lower back health. All right, bring your hand down, back knee down. Maybe it's on some padding. Come up. Let's find that pelvic tilt. So you're going to wing your tail back and then exhale, tuck it under. And you'll probably feel the psoas, the hip flexors on your right side. They'll engage as you tuck. Just feeling how all these muscles work together to help your core be stable and to help your lower back be spacious. So find that plumb line midway between winging the tail back and tucking it forward, tail moving straight down so you get long and you feel free. You should feel really nice and free when you find that length in your spine. Reach the arms up. Let's move a little bit. Exhale, draw the elbows down, opening up the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. And release your hands down. Step back. And you'll make your way into downward facing dog. If downward dog is not the pose for you, pick something that is. You could do puppy dog with the knees down. Take a couple breaths here. Slow, deep breath. Amazing, everybody. All right, so if it works in your body, walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. If that doesn't work for you, you're going to make your way to a standing position in your own time. So in this series that I'm doing on healing and supporting the lower back, today we're not doing sun salutations. So maybe that's exciting for you. Maybe that's a bummer. Apologies if it's a bummer. Let's step right into Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, right foot forward, line up front heel with center arch or heel to heel. And relax your arms in front of your thighs. So come down to whatever bend in the knee feels appropriate for your body. You can be up a little bit. This might be more supportive of your back, your hips, and your knee, or you have the flexibility to come down. Spread open the bones of your feet. Relax your arms. Let's do shoulder shrugs. Take a deep inhale here into your upper back. Hold the breath. Shoulders go up, shoulders go straight back. Now exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together and just milk them down. So you're just massaging the upper back muscles. Inhale, spread your upper back. Exhale, move the middle border of the shoulder blades together and draw down. Bend your elbows, inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and the elbow tips together and draw it down. Great. Put your right forearm onto your thigh. Bring your left arm by your ear and lengthen. Things to play with. If this does not feel good on your back, take the arm straight up or the left arm around behind your back. That might alleviate a little extra weight out of the back. Otherwise, you're here, Parshvottanasana, arm is by the ear, feeling for how you're opening up your hips, you're strengthening your legs, creating space on the side body, helps create space in the lower back as well. Take another breath here. Exhale everything out. Now take your top arm, reach it up, and let that arm lift you up. Straighten your leg, hands on your hips, pivot on your heels. Let's go to the second side. Deep bend in your front knee. Relax your arms for shoulder shrugs. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Hold the breath, shoulders up, shoulders straight back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and drag it down. Inhale into your upper back. Exhale, move the middle border of the shoulder blades together and draw down. Bend your elbows, inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and elbow tips together and draw down. Roll it out, give yourself a moment, and then find that warrior two. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, place the left forearm onto the thigh. You have options. Right arm can come up and over by your ear. You might take it straight up or bring the arm around behind the back. Because sometimes those moves just create a little more support for the back. Because anytime you move your limbs away from your center, it adds a little bit of strain around the spine. Not strain, but there's more effort. That's a better way to put it. Okay, so feel into what you got right now. Take a deep breath. Exhale everything out. Now take your top arm, reach it up, lift yourself up, hands on your hips, grab a block and put it somewhere near your right foot. We're moving into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So you want to, again, line up the heel to center arch. You can bring your feet a little closer together. If you have a big wall like I do, you might go stand in front of a wall for support. Reach your arms out to the sides, inhale. Exhale, lean way out to the right, right hand on shin or block. Block can be at any height, and the block could be in front of the shin. If you feel like you're leaning way back, put the block in front of your shin. If you feel like you're leaning way forward, put the block behind your shin. If you don't have a block or don't want to use it, your hand is lightly on your shin and you're reaching up, or your left hand can be at your hip. Draw your right hip and right sit bone, the bottom hip, straight back, and let your left hip glide slightly forward. Elongate your right ribs. You can take your left arm up. You might lengthen your whole spine and look up at the ceiling. You have options. Pick one that works for you, including looking down. Big breath in and out. Right. Some of us are going to balance on the right leg. If that is appropriate for you, Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon slide block and right hand, and come on up, finding balance. If you are against a wall, the wall is a surprisingly powerful ally in this pose, right? It's just amazing. You're right here, you're open, you get to lean into the wall, so good. So wherever you are, and you come down, and let's go to the second side. So making your way to the other side for triangle pose. Reach your arms out to the sides, inhale. Exhale, reach way out to the left. Hand on the shin. Your left hip is moving straight back. Your hand could be on a block. Right hip sneaks slightly forward and reach right arm up. Or the hand can be on the hip. Maybe you're looking up, maybe you look down. How's your breath? Can you connect into where you're creating space? Maybe breathe into that spot where you're creating space or sensation and connect it with your breath. Balancing, remember you can always go to a wall. You can use your block. Maybe you come up for a brief moment and then you come back down. Maybe you never come up at all. Up to you. Feel what feels appropriate to you. And that top foot, you could flex or you could push with the ball of the foot, push away, point it. And coming down. Standing. You can have a block handy in front of you now. Your feet can go wide, slightly pigeon toe the toes. Just slightly turn your toes in, hands on your hips. Inhale, lift your chest and your heart. And exhale, folding forward. Hands come to block, to coffee table, to the floor. Whatever distance works for you. And then if you have more room to move, you can move that block between the legs, walk your hands between your legs, or keep your hands right where they are on the block. From here, keep your feet as they are and walk your hands forward until you come to a flat back. You might want the block underneath your hands or books. You could stack some books. All right, my toes are slightly turned in. I'm pressing into outer edges of the feet. My spine is long. Engage the deepest part of your core. Pull the lower belly in, the stem of the navel back in towards the spine. So you're not round in the lower back. You really have that strong coffee table-like action of your whole spine. Like you imagine if you could balance a glass of water on your back. Right hand down on the block or on the floor. Lift your left arm up. As you lift your left arm up, feel that your left hip probably lifted up with. Send that left hip down and instead twist from the ribs. Oh, it's so much harder. You got to inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Twist, press into the outer edges of your feet. And hand down. Let's transfer the hand. So now it's the left hand down and you're twisting to the right. Right hip stays down. Just that right arm reaches up. Keep the right hip moving down. Lengthen the crown of your head forward, your tail back. Imagine that glass of water delicately balanced on your sacrum and feel your twist. Take another breath here. And release. Bend your knees. One hand at a time onto your thighs. Come on up. Heels in, toes out. Come down. This sometimes is called goddess pose. I also call it horse. So you're down, hands are on your thighs, toes are turned out. Gently traction your thigh bones away from each other and breathe into your lower back. Let's take the right shoulder over towards the left. Back to center, twist the other way. And come back to center. Straighten your legs, heel toe your feet, and take a moment standing. Tree pose. You can go to a wall, you can use a chair. Let's go balance on the left leg. You can bring your right heel up, toes on the mat, or maybe you grab the foot and maybe it can come up a little higher. Just avoid pressing on your inner knee. And your hands at your heart. Pause and feel. Feel into the area around your lower back. Can you lengthen it? Press the foot into the leg back into the foot. Create a dynamic there that feels powerful, and then rise up out of your roots, lifting up through the crown. Maybe you want to grow your branches out. Feel your own strength and feel all the space that you've created today in your practice so far. Celebrate you. Bring your hands back to center and make your way to standing on both feet. And let's move to the second side. So your left foot, maybe it comes up, maybe it stays down. Feel what feels right to you. Create a dynamic. If the foot is off the floor, push the foot into the leg back into the foot. Find that long plumb line from your crown, like you're hooked up to the sky and dangling down, and grow your roots down, and you can grow your branches. Hands back to heart. Stand. Pause for a breath. Beautiful, beautiful, everyone. Let's turn and step up to the front of your mat. So we'll stand together at the front of the mat and put your hands on your hips. So you're standing in Tadasana. Keep your right foot where it is and step your left foot back and come into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. So you can step as far back or shimmy the foot back foot on a 45-degree angle, and reach your arms up. You can deepen the bend in the front knee, line up your heels with your sit bones, with your hips, give yourself some space. And hopefully right now you feel really long and strong around your center. Same thing applies, draw the lower belly in. Remember that move where we kind of lengthen the tail down? You can apply that move here. Take another breath in and out. Release your hands back onto your hips. We're going to come into, from here, you're going to come into Warrior 3. Keep your hands either on your hips or arms by your side. I might be headed right into my plant. I think I have the space. Find out in your space how you balance. Maybe it's for a moment. Maybe it's like never. I'm just going to lean forward. This is Brave Warrior, leads with the heart. So open the heart, get that bravery, that courageous heart of yours guiding you into this shape, wherever it is. Maybe it's a balance, maybe it's not a balance. And eventually find your way back to the front of your mat, feet together. Pause, feel. And you step your right foot back and come into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 on the left side. Feet are hip distance apart. You've got length in your tail. Lengthen the tail down. Remember that tilt of the pelvis that we found way back when, reaching the arms up as appropriate for you. Take a breath here. Feel Virabhadrasana 1. You can bring your hands down to your hips, your arms by your side. You might have to adjust as I do in your space. And you'll hinge forward from the hips. Let your heart guide you coming into balancing. Maybe even just for a moment, maybe you just the toes come up off the mat. Let your heart lead. You got another couple breaths to explore. And find your way to stand in Tadasana. You're standing in mountain, feet hip distance apart, arms by your side. Take a breath. Come down, and you'll come onto your back. If you have your block, you might want it. You're going to come all the way down onto your back. And this time we're going into a full bridge. Earlier in class, we did a baby bridge. I invite you to do a baby bridge again. If you like squeezing the block between your thighs, you could squeeze that, or you could lift up and slide that block right underneath your lower back. This could be a really great position for your body, especially relieving your spine. If you sit a lot, if you feel like you would like an inversion that isn't a lot of stress or strain on your body, you could lift your hips up to whatever height and rest on the block. Or maybe you want to use your muscles. Push down into your heels, lift your hips up, and you have a little room to move. Walk your shoulders gently underneath, interlace your fingers. You got about 5 of your breaths here, so I'm going to give you some space to breathe and feel. Wherever you are is amazing. And when you feel complete, you make your way back down. And keep your feet wide, knees bent, and then gently let your knees toggle from one side to the other, like windshield wipers on that really slow kind of intermittent level. You know, when you just, there's a light sprinkle and your windshield wipers just go and hang out. And then they go to the other side and hang out. Just kind of enjoy a lazy toggle from side to side. Nice and easy, just enjoying arriving on your back. And when you feel ready, hug your knees into your chest. And you can come into supine pigeon from here with your feet off the floor, or you might want to put your feet back down. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. You can keep your feet down. You can put your left foot on a wall, or you can hug your legs in. Reach around, grab a hold of the back of the left shin, the back of the left thigh or the shin. And feel your breath and the support around your lower back now. How's it feeling to you today? Deep breath. All right, let's change sides. You can change any way that works for you. Second side, left ankle crosses over the right thigh, hug. And breathe. You can have your head supported on a blanket. From here, stretch your legs out long, and then bring your right knee into your chest. You can always bend your left knee as needed or keep that leg long. We're going to take the right knee into a twist. Take that right leg either all the way across to the floor or put a block underneath the knee. That'll help protect your lower back. Less range of motion or more range of motion if you don't need a block. Let the knee come all the way to the floor. Turn your gaze to the right, reaching your right arm out to the side. And hang out here and breathe. Make your way back in your own time onto your back, and you can make this transition your own. We're going to go to the second side. Left knee into chest, and you can take the leg across. It can come all the way to the floor or put it on a block, and you can shift your gaze to the left. And when you finish, if you feel complete, you could come into Shavasana. If you would like Happy Baby, if Happy Baby's a fun, good pose in your body, hold on to the feet, come into Happy Baby. For a variation that might feel better in your body, cross the ankles and hug your knees in. Or just hug your knees. You can take the thigh bones wide towards like the knees out towards your armpit. Or you're in Happy Baby, or you're in Shavasana. That's where we're headed. So you can take your time getting there. And if you are someone that has some back pain or tightness, when you rest, a great way is to support your knees. I put a couple blankets underneath my knees. You could also put your legs up the wall. But in your own time, when you're ready, take rest. You might need some extra clothing. Invite you to put socks on. You need that. Or put a blanket across your body. We'll rest together for several minutes, and I will bring you out. You can take a few breaths and just allow yourself to come into present moment, feeling if there's some gentle movement that wants to happen, let it. If you also feel that staying just as you are is the right path, please honor that. And if you are ready to find your way into a little movement and eventually up to a seated position, I invite you to take your time and we can close our practice together. It's taking a moment once you're seated, bringing your hands to your heart in some way that feels authentic to you. It can be in prayer, Anjali Mudra. This is a hand gesture that means offering. We offer our deep breaths, our connection, what we've co-created together, this community, and this moment out of time where we get to be present with ourselves and feel what is. It's such a gift. So much gratitude for these teachings and recognition for these teachings from South Asia, and recognizing the honor it is to have adopted them. May you be well, may you be safe, and may you continue to walk your healing road together and individually. It's such an honor to be here with you.